Hi everyone, I am Hayley from I Am Grow and So Keepsakes. I thought I'd do a video for you about the information sheet that I send out when you place an inquiry or order with me. Um, you're going to have to excuse me because I am working from the information sheet on the iPad because I can't remember everything. Um, so, first things first, when you send me your clothes, you can put in a request for things that you want to be incorporated from your clothes. So, for example, on this bear, which is just about ready to go home, or it is ready to go home, but it's been used for the purposes of this video. This one has incorporated particular details on the arm, which were requested, on this arm. But also, this elephant that's on the back was off of a separate baby grow, and I've hand appliqued that onto the back of the bear. Using this one as an example, which is the other one's sister. So this one has particular frills across the bottom of the baby grow, which have been incorporated here, you can see. This one, I love this. This one had a pocket, which actually is going to make a wonderful tooth fairy pocket, I think, as well. What else have we got included? Sorry, my neighbour's being a bit noisy. I've got motif from an absolutely gorgeous velour baby grow on there. I've got this big A because this little girl's name is Amy, and that was off of a pair of dungarees that I've managed to applique on. And from the same dungarees, some buttons to give us some lovely details down the front. So I will, and also these little bows, I don't know if you can see that. These little bows were also off of, I think it was this baby grow actually. So yes, I can incorporate all sorts of motifs, frills, buttons. I can applique letters on and pictures on off of baby grows that you have, or I can create letters out of baby grows that you send me, and then I can applique them on as well. Let's have a look. What else? I hand make all of the keepsakes. I don't outsource them anywhere. I do it all myself. So when you send me your clothes, I spend quite a significant amount of time looking at the clothes and deciding what colours and what patterns from the clothes will best suit which part of the keepsake. So obviously different keepsakes are different patterns, and so for example on the lion's mane, I tend to choose something really bold and bright, and as another example on the bears, I try and choose something quite contrasting between the sort of forehead and the cheeks and the face of the bear. So I do spend an awful lot of time looking through and choosing the best pictures and patterns to go on, and trying to incorporate motifs. But like I said, you can tell me what you'd like me to incorporate, and I will incorporate them as best I can. I've already mentioned that I can do applique on there. The other thing that I can do, which both of these have a beautiful example of, is embroidered names, which, oops, there we go, you can see there. And this one also has date of birth on a paw pad and birth weight on the other one. And this one has the same, but you'll see this one is in a different font, so I can also do it in different fonts. There and there. I can also do birth time. I can pretty much embroider anything that you want onto there. Obviously, depending on the length of the words or the name that you want on there will depend on where I embroider. Sometimes the outside of arms are nice. Paw pads on the bears are always an obvious choice. Some people like the back of the head embroidered. I would probably rarely ever embroider on the face, only really if you asked me to. So yes, I can do embroidery. I don't do machine embroidery. My machine doesn't do embroidery, and also I think that hand embroidery is a little bit more personal. Let's have a quick look. So yeah, I've covered embroidery. The other thing that I can do, which I've just started doing, is weight a keepsake to your child's birth weight. So that will involve me, sorry, my computer screen just went funny. That would involve me incorporating a sack of weighted beads at various points throughout your keepsake, to then make it weigh the same amount that your baby weighed when your baby was born, which is quite a nice touch, I think. All the when I cut all the pieces for your keepsake, I then stabilise the fabric, because if you try to put any fabric like this through a sewing machine, any kind of stretchy fabric through a sewing machine before it's stabilised, the sewing machine just eats it. And if you're trying to hand sew it together, that's absolutely fine, but by the time you've stuffed it, you've got a really swollen looking bear because everything's really stretchy, or bear, lion, monkey, whatever. So you end up with a really swollen, distorted looking keepsake. So I stabilise them all. I then hand pin them or tack them together, depending on how fiddly the bit is that I'm working with. Then I generally machine sew most of the bits and pieces together. Some of the really finer details I have to hand sew, and then with everything I hand sew them closed after I've stuffed them. So they are very well looked after while they're with me, and I take great care over all of the keepsakes that I make, just knowing how much memory is locked up inside a keepsake. I'm really, really careful with them, and I'm very aware that they are your baby's first clothes, so I do take very good care of them. Everything, all the materials that I use, they are machine washable, but I would advise that you don't put your keepsake through a washing machine. Just because they are pre-loved, and as I mentioned earlier, did I? Don't think I have. Tried to make this video so many times and messed it up. Because they're handmade, I wouldn't say that they're robust, but they're not obviously as robust as something that's factory made. So I wouldn't put them through a washing machine. I would just, if you find that you get anything, any dirt on them or anything like that, just spot clean them is probably the best way of dealing with it. So when you place an order with me, I'll give you my address when I give you my your order confirmation to send your clothes to me. I do suggest that you send your clothes by recorded delivery. I can't be responsible for them before they get to me, so you need to make sure that you have sent them to me in the most secure way that you can. Also, make sure they're in some kind of suitable packaging. You don't want to send them in a paper envelope or one of the large paper envelopes to find they get to me and they're really, really soggy and wet. Something like a postage bag is ideal. Generally speaking, my waiting list is around about 8 weeks, maybe 10 weeks. In the lead up to Christmas, it's a little bit longer, but all my Christmas orders are closed now. And I will confirm with you the expected turnaround time when you place your order with me. I'm a wife and I'm a mummy to a 19-month-old little girl, so there are times when unforeseen circumstances might cause me a bit of a delay. I will do everything I can to make sure that they don't cause a delay, but there might be an instance where that's inevitable and or unavoidable, and I will contact you if that's the case. When you have sent me your order, I will send you a confirmation. When I've received your clothes, I will send you a confirmation that I've received them, and when you have paid me, I will confirm that you've paid me as well. Now, safety note. So I think I may or may not have alluded to this earlier on. The keepsakes that I make are not toys, they are keepsakes. They can't be CE tested for a start. That would mean setting fire to all of them, which I'm not going to do. And also, you just have to bear in mind that they are made from pre-loved, pre-worn clothes. You know what the clothes have been through. They're your little person's clothes, so that they're not going to withstand a lot of handling in the same way that a brand new toy that's been factory made would do. The other thing to bear in mind is that there are embellishments on them. So as an example, this one's got the buttons and the bows, and the button jointing, which in itself is, it's not, you can see it's not moving, it's not coming off, but equally I can't imagine it would withstand a lot of pulling and prodding and poking. So they are keepsakes. So in terms of the number of clothes that you need to send me, I'm not going to go through the number of clothes for every single keepsake, but generally speaking, it's around about 6 to 8 baby grows or equivalent. So when I say equivalent, I mean if you think of one full baby grow as being a top and a bottom, obviously in one piece, that would be the equivalent of one top and one pair of trousers. So if it were six, or trousers, dungarees, whatever. If it were 6 baby grows, it would be 6 tops and 6 trousers to give me the whole lot. Or it can be a combination. It could be a couple of baby grows, a couple of tops, a couple of trousers. I can use bibs. I can use muslin cloths. I can use sleeping bags. I can use tops, dresses, trousers. I can use pretty much any fabric apart from anything really sheer, and also anything that's really loosely knit because they don't stitch together particularly well. I generally say try and avoid really heavily worn thinned clothes. Sometimes the bottoms of baby grows where they've been sort of shuffled on if a baby's shuffling across the floor, or the knees if a baby's been crawling, they can be pretty well worn. If the rest of the baby grows okay, then I can use parts of that. That's absolutely fine. But if a baby grow was particularly well worn and it started to thin, it may well not hold together too well. You're very welcome to send it to me, but I might well ask for an alternative unless you've already sent me a couple of spares just in case. I ask that all the clothes are washed when you send them to me, but don't need to worry about ironing them because I do iron them as I go anyway. And what was the other thing? Oh yes, staining. I will avoid any stains on baby grows and baby clothes. But that said, I know from having made some for my daughter that if a particular item is well loved and well worn, it may well be slightly stained, and if it's got a stain on near a motif that you particularly want me to use, that's absolutely fine. There's a section on the order form for special requests or instructions. Just pop it on there. If you specifically want me to use an area that does happen to be stained as well, that's fine. Just say it on there, but otherwise just know that I'll avoid any stained areas. Right, so we talked about a number of clothes, we've talked about the types of clothes. Oh, that's right. So also the number of clothes, when I say 6 to 8 baby grows as an example, that's based on the kind of 0 to 3 month size. So if you're giving me clothes that are say 9 to 12 months, I probably won't need quite so many unless you want me to use a larger variety of clothes. But also if you're giving me smaller clothes, so let's say you're giving me newborn or up to 1 month size closed, I might need a bit more than 6 to 8. I might need nearer, say, 10 or 12. So just bear in mind with the size clothes that you're sending me, if you're sending me smaller ones, you might need to send me a few more. If you're sending me larger ones, you can get away with sending a few less unless you want a larger variety of clothes included in your keepsake. So what else have I got on here? If you send me items that cannot be used or are not used, I will return them to you with your keepsake when I finished it. But please bear in mind that if you send me a significantly large number of clothes that I don't use, that might incur an extra postage charge to send them back to you, depending on how many there are. If for any reason I feel that the clothes are unsuitable that you've sent me, or that I need any extras, I will contact you. And I think that's it really. So the list of keepsakes that I make, but it's not limited just to this list, but I make a small bear, I make a traditional bear, a lion, a cat, a dog, a monkey, a bunny, a duck, an elephant, an owl. I'm about to make a giraffe for somebody. So if there's any keepsakes that you want that aren't on that list, it doesn't mean to say that I can't make them. I probably can make them, but you just need to ask me, and I will confirm with you if it's something I can do for you. So I think that's it. I hope I haven't waffled on too long, and I hope it's been helpful for you. I'm going to try and do a video for each of the keepsakes that I make so that I can show you the key features of them. So keep your eyes peeled. I'll do one on the traditional bear, probably later this evening or tomorrow. so I can just talk through the key features of the traditional bear. Anyway, I hope that's been helpful. Thank you very much, and I shall speak to you again soon. Bye!